Christmas Eve morning arrived with pale sunlight and the weight of Clara's unread note burning a hole in Anna's vision. She'd spent the night on her couch, unable to go to bed, unable to stop staring at that folded piece of paper. Sleep had come in fragments, 30 minutes here, an hour there, broken by dreams of empty apartments and one-way tickets to Portland. At 7 a.m., she finally picked up the note. Her hands shook as she unfolded it, Clara's handwriting slightly messy, written in what must have been a hurry. "I'm not leaving you." Not like she did. "Trust me enough to talk?" Anna read it 3 times.
4, 5.
The words didn't change. They didn't make sense either. Clara had literally said she wasn't staying, that the lease was month to month, that she'd be home after New Year's. But the note said something different. Anna pressed it to her chest, feeling her heartbeat against paper, then stood before courage could abandon her. She walked to Clara's door in bare feet and pajamas, not letting herself think, just moving. She knocked, waited, knocked again. The door opened, and Clara stood there in an oversized t-shirt and shorts, eyes red and swollen, like she'd been crying. Her hair was a mess. She looked exhausted. She looked beautiful. "Hi," Clara whispered. "Hi." They stood in the doorway, 2 women who'd known each other less than a week, but felt like longer, like always. Clara stepped aside without a word, and Anna entered an apartment that was the mirror image of her own, but completely different.
Warm.
Lived in. Boxes half unpacked, photographs scattered across the hardwood floor like fallen leaves. Clara sat among the photos, and Anna lowered herself beside her without asking. Pictures of a woman with Clara's smile, Clara's warm eyes, frozen in moments of pure joy. Her mother at Christmas, at birthdays, at what looked like a jazz club, always laughing. "I called her yesterday," Clara said, voice cracking. "Old habit. Her number's still in my phone, and I hit dial without thinking." Her voicemail picked up. She wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. "I broke down for an hour." Have you ever felt this kind of fear before, love? Comment your experience and where you're watching from. Anna picked up a photo, Clara and her mother at Christmas, both wearing matching sweaters, both mid-laugh. The love was visible, tangible, the kind that doesn't fade even after death. She was beautiful. She would have liked you. Clara's voice softened. She used to say the best people are the ones who've been broken and put themselves back together. Said broken people understand that cracks let the light in. I'm still mostly cracks. Me too. Clara's hand found Anna's, fingers interlacing like they'd done this 1,000 times. "I heard you yesterday morning. Through the walls." Anna's stomach dropped. "Clara, let me finish." Clara squeezed her hand, held on tight. "Yes, I told my mom's voicemail I wasn't staying. Because I'm terrified. Because everywhere I've lived since she died feels wrong, temporary, like I'm wearing someone else's skin. Because I don't know how to exist in the world without her." She turned to face Anna fully, tears streaming down her cheeks. "But then I met you, and for the first time in 4 months, I felt like maybe I could build something permanent. With someone." Clara brought Anna's hand to her chest, pressed it against her heartbeat. "You scare me more than leaving does. Because you make me want to stay. You barely know me. I know you're kind even when you're trying not to be. I know you let me in when every instinct told you not to. I know you're terrified of being abandoned again." Clara's thumb traced circles on Anna's palm. "And I know that scares you as much as it scares me." Anna felt something break open in her chest, not painful, but like ice cracking in spring, making way for something new. "What if you change your mind? What if I don't?" Clara challenged softly. "What if this is real and we're both just too scared to believe it?" They sat by Clara's window as snow began to fall, thick, heavy flakes that muted the world outside. No words felt big enough for what was happening between them, this fragile thing neither had planned for. Clara hummed softly. "Billie Holiday. I'll be seeing you." Her nervous tell. Anna leaned her head on Clara's shoulder, felt Clara's arm come around her waist, and let herself breathe for what felt like the first time in days. "Stay tonight," Anna whispered.
"Please."
"It's Christmas Eve." Clara pressed a kiss to the top of Anna's head. Okay. They stood together, hands still joined, and walked back to Anna's apartment. The bare apartment with its single lamp and gray couch. The space that had felt like a tomb for 3 years. The space that suddenly, impossibly, felt like it could become home. They decorated Anna's apartment with what little they had, paper snowflakes taped to windows like crystallized hope, Clara's vanilla candle flickering on the coffee table, cheap string lights Clara retrieved from a box she'd never unpacked. It wasn't much. It was everything. I stopped celebrating Christmas, Anna said, hanging the last snowflake on the window, because this was the night she left. 3 years ago. Christmas Eve. Clara set down the lights, crossed the small space between them, took both of Anna's hands in hers. Then we make new memories. Starting right now. It's not that simple. Yes, it is. Clara's smile was soft, genuine, reaching her eyes in a way Anna had memorized over 6 impossible days. We choose to start over. Here.
Now.
Together. Anna pulled Clara closer, until their foreheads touched, until breathing became a shared thing between them. I'm terrified. Me too. What if this doesn't work? What if it does? Clara's hands came up to cup Anna's face, thumbs brushing across her cheekbones. What if we stop asking, what if, and just let ourselves have this? The clock on Anna's wall ticked toward midnight. Christmas Eve bleeding into Christmas Day, 3 years of loneliness about to transform into something new. Outside, snow fell in thick sheets, blanketing the city, muffling the world, making everything feel suspended in time. Midnight struck. Anna kissed Clara. Soft at first, tentative, testing. Clara's lips tasted like wine and possibility. Then Clara's hands tightened on Anna's face, deepening the kiss, and Anna felt 3 years of ice crack and melt and wash away in a flood of warmth. This was what thawing felt like. This was hope made physical. This was choosing to risk everything on someone who might actually stay. They broke apart, breathless, foreheads pressed together. Then someone pounded on the door.
Loud.
Aggressive.
Wrong.
Anna froze, every muscle in her body going rigid. No one knows I'm here. No one should. The pounding continued, frantic now. Anna pulled away from Clara, moved toward the door, dread pooling cold in her stomach. She looked through the peephole, and the world tilted sideways.
No.
Anna? Clara's voice, concerned, confused. Who is it? Anna opened the door, because not opening it would only make things worse. Rachel stood there, drunk, disheveled, mascara running in black rivers down her face. She smelled like red wine and 3 years of regret.
Anna.
God, Anna, I made a mistake. Rachel. Anna's voice came out flat, emotionless, a defense mechanism 3 years in the making. What are you doing here? I came to. Rachel stumbled forward, caught herself on the doorframe. I want you back. I was wrong. So fucking wrong. These 3 years without you have been hell. Clara appeared behind Anna, visible now in the doorway. Rachel's bloodshot eyes locked on her, confusion shifting to anger in seconds. Who the hell is this? Rachel's voice turned sharp, accusatory, ugly. You moved on that fast? After everything we had? 3 years isn't fast, Anna said, surprising herself with how steady her voice sounded. We were together for 5 years. 5 years, Anna. Rachel reached for Anna's hand, missed, steadied herself. And you replace me in 3? With some random. Don't. Anna's voice went cold. Don't finish that sentence. We can fix this. I know we can. Rachel's eyes filled with tears, desperation making her voice crack. I was scared. I was young and stupid and scared of commitment, and I've regretted leaving every single day since. You told me I was too cold to love. I was wrong. You left me a note on Christmas Eve and disappeared for 3 years. I know, but I'm here now. I'm here, and I'm telling you I'm sorry. Rachel tried to step closer. Please, Anna. Give me another chance. Let me fix what I broke. Anna looked back at Clara, saw fear written across her face. Fear of being the rebound, of not being enough, of watching Anna choose the familiar pain over the terrifying unknown. Anna saw her own terror reflected in those brown eyes she'd learned to read in less than a week. And something clicked into place. Anna turned back to Rachel. "You're 3 years too late, Anna." And she. Anna gestured to Clara, voice growing stronger with every word. "She's the best gift I've ever had for Christmas." Rachel's face crumpled, cycling through shock, anger, grief. "You're making a mistake. You don't even know her. Maybe. But it's my mistake to make. You'll regret this. When she leaves you, because she will, you'll remember this moment. Get out, Anna."
Get out.
Rachel left, stumbling down the hallway, slamming the stairwell door hard enough to rattle the frame. Silence rushed in to fill the space she'd occupied, heavy and uncertain, and loaded with everything unsaid. Clara stood frozen in the doorway, trembling. "You meant that?" Anna pulled her inside, closed the door, locked it. Then she cupped Clara's face the way Clara had done minutes before, holding her like something precious and breakable. Every word. "But I need to know," Anna's voice wavered. "Are you really staying? Or am I fooling myself?" Clara's face shifted, something unreadable passing through her eyes, there and gone in a heartbeat. "There's something I haven't told you. About why I'm really here." Anna's stomach dropped.
No.
"Not now. Not after." Clara reached for her phone with shaking hands. "I need to show you something. And after you see it, you might want me to leave." She pulled up a photo, turned the screen toward Anna. A letter. Official. Legal-looking. Anna's eyes scanned the words. "Terminal diagnosis, experimental treatment Seattle, 6 months maximum." "My mom didn't just die," Clara whispered, voice breaking. "She died because I made a choice. She wanted to stay in Portland, comfortable, at peace. But I couldn't accept it. I moved her to Seattle for experimental treatment, convinced her to try one more thing, and—" Clara's voice cracked completely. She spent her last 2 months in agony in a strange city, away from her home, away from everything she loved. The treatment failed. She died scared and in pain, and it's my fault. Tears streamed down Clara's face. "I came here because I can't face Portland. Can't face her house. Can't face what I did to her." Anna stared at Clara, really saw her for the first time. Not the confident neighbor with the bright smile. Not the woman who hummed jazz and made terrible cookies. But someone as broken and drowning and desperate for forgiveness as Anna had been for 3 years. "You think that makes me want you to leave?" Clara's eyes widened. "Doesn't it, Clara?" Anna pulled her close, eliminated every inch of space between them. "You made a choice out of love. It didn't work the way you hoped. That doesn't make you a murderer. It makes you human. I killed her. You tried to save her." Anna's voice was fierce now, absolute. "There's a difference." Clara collapsed into Anna's arms, 3 months of guilt and grief finally breaking through the careful walls she'd constructed. Anna held her, stroked her hair, let her own tears fall into Clara's dark curls. Outside, snow continued to fall. Christmas morning arrived quiet and cold and forgiving. They stood together in Anna's apartment, surrounded by paper snowflakes and cheap lights, and the ghost of a kiss interrupted. 2 broken people choosing to be broken together. "Stay," Anna whispered into Clara's hair. "Not temporarily. Not month to month. Stay." Clara pulled back just enough to meet Anna's eyes, face wet with tears. "What if I'm too damaged? Then we'll be damaged together." Anna smiled, really smiled, for the first time in 3 years. "Cracks let the light in, remember?" Clara kissed her then, deep and desperate, and full of promises neither of them knew if they could keep. When they broke apart, both breathless, Clara pressed her forehead to Anna's. "Merry Christmas, Anna." "Merry Christmas, Clara." They stood in the glow of cheap string lights, holding each other like lifelines, 2 women who'd planned to spend Christmas alone and found something infinitely better. Not perfection, not certainty, but a chance. A chance to heal. A chance to hope. A chance to start again. the best gift either had ever received.